Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this how to heat emboss with your rubber stamps video. Now on my website I'm doing a few step-by-step how-to videos because a popular question about rubber stamping is what to do next after you can rubber stamp. Well, heat embossing is a natural progression. So we're using my brand new stamps to show you how to do different things and different techniques. If you're a beginner, this is a great step up from just simply rubber stamping. And I want to run through a few of the items that you need to be able to heat emboss. Now, the one thing that you need to heat emboss is a heat emboss tool. And this is from Sweet Dixie from Personal Impressions. So this is a heat embossing tool, and this will heat up your embossing powder that you put on your stamped image. It's not a hairdryer, it's a direct to flow hot air applicator, and I'll show you how to use it. It's very easy, and it's got a stand on it if you need to stand it up after you've used it for it to cool down. You're going to need embossing powder. Now, Personal Impressions has a great range through Sweet Dixie. We're going to be using Mirror Gold embossing powder because I thought for beginners and to show you the effects as it heats up, that's a great one to pick because you should be able to see the magic happen as we heat it up. You're going to want your rubber stamps, and on this occasion we're using my seasonal cluster stamps, and it's the Happy New Year stamp. We're using the sentiment stamp from the collection. We're going to use Perfect Medium, which is an ink pad. It's got no colour to it, but it's tacky. I'll show you how it looks when we've stamped with it. I'm also going to be using my stamping mat just to stamp with. I know it's dirty, it's well loved. And we're going to use a heat mat as well. Again, a little bit dirty, but it doesn't affect its performance. So the first thing that we need to do is, as we did in the stamping guide, we need to just tap the ink pad on the top of our stamp with light, gentle, or whatever kind of tapping motion you prefer, and cover that with the Perfect Medium. Now I'm going to stamp one just onto scrap paper, just in hope that it's going to stamp. And you can't really see the image, which is absolutely fine. That's what I want. Now, this image, this is going to go onto smooth surface stamping card, Sweet Dixie stamping card, and there we go. Covered that with the ink pad and the ink, and I'm going to take a piece of the card, and I'm simply going to turn my stamp over and stamp, push it down like so, and peel it off. Now you can just about see where I've stamped in the centre. Next, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper that I've folded in the middle. It's just a piece of scrap A4. I've folded it in the middle, and I'm going to take my embossing powder and I'm going to sprinkle it on top of the stamped image. I'm then going to give the card a little bit of a shake, and then I'm going to tap it off onto the cardstock below. Now you can see on mine it's picked up some of my fingerprints, so I can simply rub that away. If you've got a paintbrush, that would be ideal. You can use an anti-static pad before you stamp and rub it over the surface. That will help to stop fingerprints being picked up. So now our stamped image has picked up all the embossing powder it needs to emboss. With the embossing powder that we've tapped away, we're going to put this back in our pot simply by tipping it in from the scrap paper that we had underneath that caught it all, and that way we're not wasting any and we've still got lots in our pot. So now we can close our pot, put it to one side and use it next time for whatever we're going to use it on. So now we can heat our image. So the heat tool turns on and off at the bottom. So we simply turn it on and then we hold it over the image and it will start to heat the embossing powder, and as it starts to change you'll see how the embossing powder melts and turns it turns to the mirror gold, the colour that we're looking for. So it heats up the powder, it melts onto the actual ink that we've stamped underneath, and you just keep moving the embossing tool over the actual image while all the powder melts. So you don't have to do this, just follow the melted section as it goes and then just move on to the next section. And the trick really is to let it all melt, don't overheat it, so once a section has melted, move on to the next section. And that is ours all heat embossed. There we go, just a little bit on the word, and that is now heat embossed. And you can see the difference that makes with that gorgeous embossing powder, the mirror gold. You can see the shine that it gives. And that's all there is to heat embossing. Now you can cut out your image, put it on your cards, on your scrapbooking, in your journals, etc. And it's a great step up from your stamping basics. And that will give you a great idea into some of the techniques that we're going to use with our stamps and our embossing powders. Please check my blog and my website for different how-to guides. I hope this has helped and it's given you a bit of an idea and some inspiration into, you know, how to emboss your stamped images. Great for beginners and for anybody that's wanting to branch out. So I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.